Hi, welcome to another episode of the TurtleBurger podcast. My name is Brittany. Thank you for joining me. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. In addition to YouTube, you can find me most active on Ravelry at TurtleBurger. All information regarding patterns and anything else, project pages, will be linked in the description box. Full disclaimer, I have a toddler sitting in front of me in her high chair, and I'm sorry, it is what it is. She's really in a singing phase right now. Okay, today's video, I have 3 finished objects, and I didn't even count the works in progress. We're just going to talk about a bunch of stuff that I have around me right here. But the first finished object, I'm so excited. Wait, did I just say finished object or work in progress? I don't know. It's a finished object. My love note is done. I finished it last night. I am so beyond excited. It is not blocked yet, so disregard all the wrinkly arms and everything. My ends are woven in. I just need to block it. And here's this arm. Okay, you're being a little loud. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about it. It fits beautifully. I am so excited to wear it for Easter. I'm sorry. Okay, so the Love Note is a pattern by Tincan Knits. We actually, my friend Carla of Carla Knits podcast and I have been running a knit along for the Love Note, which started back in February, and it will go through April 14th. We would love for you to submit. We both have threads within our Ravelry groups. Yeah, so that's it on that. I just kind of threw that in there because I forgot to mention it at the beginning. But okay, so my Love Note has lived in my CB Crafty Girl bag, which is Carla Knits. I made the size large, which I think is the 4th size. The yarn I used was Lion Brand Kobu in the color Lichen. It is a cotton and rayon from Bamboo blend. It is very nice yarn. It's very like cool and silky kind of feeling. And when I tried it on, it feels so nice. You're being a little loud, please. Thank you. So I don't have the full amounts of what I have left. I bought a total of 4 skeins last year, and I made 1 Love Note, which I have been ripping out as needed. Oops, I got it wrapped around a thing there. This is all that's left of the original Love Note, and from what I had cut off, this was all I have left from what I was using with that. It definitely was much less than the called for yardage, but anyway, I made again the size large, the 4th size. I used the called for needles, which were size 10, 6mm for the body, and the ribbing on the neck, the arms, and at the end of the body were US size 7, 4.5mm needles. And I love this pattern. I do. It fits so well. I cannot wait to make another one. I have some black yarn that I think I'm going to use. It is Yarn Bee Soft Secret. which is what I made Little Lady's Love Note with, and it worked up so well in that yarn because it's a light worsted weight that you can get a DK gauge with it. So that's what I plan to do, but that'll be in the future. I've got too many other things going on right now. Okay, my next finished object is a dishcloth. This is the Biscotti dishcloth by the Kitchen Sink Shop. This was the March dishcloth of the month. If you are new or maybe a new knitter and are not aware, the Kitchen Sink Shop is an email subscription club where every month Garlene, the owner of the Kitchen Sink Shop, sends you a free dishcloth pattern of the month. And then eventually it's released onto Ravelry. When I first started knitting and I found her subscription club, I immediately signed up. I learned so many techniques and things that they're all like an adventurous beginner, a lot of them. Like, for example, I thought this was cables, but it's not. I'll bring it closer. It is just a really neat way of doing right twisted stitches, and it's really neat. I like that subscription club. I recommend it, especially if you're a new knitter. The yarn I used is Peaches and Cream in the color Oasis. It looked very Biscotti-ish to me. And I used US size 5 3.75 millimeter needles. I've decided I don't know if I like using straight needles, so I may end up changing those to some circular needles and just working flat on those. I have not started the April dishcloth, the April dishcloth of the month yet, but it's called like mini eggs or something like that. And I thought, oh man, I hope this is enough. I have 29 grams left of the Oasis colorway. And I was like, oh, I really want to use that because it reminded me of Little Lady watches this one YouTube channel. I don't know the name of it. And what they do is they like bake cakes, but it's a little tiny kitchen and little tiny utensils and pots and pans and stoves and everything. And I'm thinking I assume it's a she, must be baking like single serve cakes, and they are so elaborate and just really neat and pretty. And every time she cracks an egg, I don't know if they're like in a foreign country or not. It almost seems like it would be a Japanese type channel. But that's purely speculative because they don't talk in it or anything. But the eggs she used are like a speckly dark brown, and this kind of reminded me of that. So I looked up different type of bird eggs to see what kind of eggs they look like. And this yarn looked very close to maybe a robin, or not a robin, a cardinal egg, which I thought was really neat because we have a lot of cardinals being like Twitter-pated in our backyard right now. It's a Bambi reference if you've never seen Bambi. But so anyway, I hope I have enough of this. It's 29 grams. I don't know. My Biscotti dishcloth was exactly 29 grams. So we'll see. If not, it'll be in Walmart cotton yarn in the color soft silver. I haven't decided, haven't started that or anything, so no big deal. Now the next finished object, I don't think I have shown on a podcast. I know it was on my, if you watch my shorts, but I could not remember, so I thought I would just bring it back out. But I did finish my Little Lady Sunhat for me. It's all wrinkled here, so I just put it in the bag. And it is, I probably could have made this part, the crown, I guess, the depth a little longer, but otherwise it's completely fine. I really like it. And little lady wears hers, and it's just so cute. So this is the little lady Sunhat pattern by, I want to say, Lindsey Niezgocki or something. It's linked below. I can't remember her name. And the yarn I used, this is what I have left, was Knit Picks Dishy in the color Jalapeno. I don't think I've weighed this yet to see how much I used. Oh, you know what? I'm completely wrong. This was a second skein. This is what I have left from the hat. It was a full skein started, and this is what I have left. I'm sorry, this was a second skein that I brought out because I wasn't sure how much I would need. I used, let's see, what crochet hook did I use? Yes, I used a US size G6 4.25 millimeter needle. I've actually been looking for this chapstick. Apparently it was in this bag. I'll just use some of this real quick. So that's that project. I mean, not a whole lot to tell on that. I went up a hook size and made the largest size she had, which she said would fit most adults, but I think the depth of it needed to be a little more, or to even go up to yet another hook size. So let's go ahead and jump into some works in progress. Now, some of these, I'll be perfectly honest, I can't exactly remember if I worked on them, so I'm just going to show what I have, because maybe I just didn't move my needles. I mean, not my needles, my progress keepers. For example, the Musselburgh hat, I can't remember if I worked on it in the past 2 weeks, but if I did, I got 6 rounds because that's where my last marker was. Anyway, so this has just been a slow going project since we're coming into spring and summer, and I don't really need it finished at the moment. This is a pattern by Ysolda Teague. It is a really nice mindless pattern. I really enjoy it. I am making the adult, I believe it's the small size, and I'm using a US size 5 3.75 millimeter needle. And here is my yarn. This is Alta Truth DK. I think the color was just a number, but I still haven't got my label out of my tote that I keep back here. I will one day. So like I said, I cannot fully remember if I worked on that, but if I just didn't move my marker, I've worked 6 rounds. So who knows? The next project is slow going, but I did do a little bit on it. These are my husband's socks. These are just cuffed down 2 at a time, just basic vanilla socks. Also, if you are interested and are on Ravelry, I am hosting a sock stash along for the entire year. So far we have about 20 submissions, I believe, and I love seeing all the socks and going in there and checking the little love button because they're so pretty. I just love socks. So this will be the first pair of socks I'm making my husband. It's just a vanilla pattern. I'm not really doing any pattern. I used a 72 stitch count, and I'm just going round and round and round. When I eventually get to the heel, I plan on doing a heel flap and gusset because I feel like it'll be sturdy for him because of that. The heel is where he wears his socks out the quickest. And on here, so this is where I was last time, so that's pretty good. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds for him. I am hoping to get the leg at about 6 inches. I'm not even close to that right now. And then I will try them on him and see if he wants them longer. The yarn I'm using is Huntington Valley yarns in the color blue. I am using a Chalgu 40-inch cable, US size 1, 2.25, which are my favorites. I am enjoying 2 at a time, but I don't think it's going to be my go-to because I'm a slow knitter anyway, and then that one just makes it even slower. But I have found that I'm not having a problem even taking those out for card knitting and whatnot. So that's really nice. Let's see. What do I have now? I think we've already talked about this one. Yep, that's my Musselburgh. Let's see what's in here. Oh, I have a half-finished object. This is exciting. So this is a new sock test knit from Darcy of Chitchat Knits, and I have finished the first sock. Here it is. It needs blocked because it is really tight in the foot. I can get it on my foot, and I'm sure it'll stretch out, but I don't know. I hope it stretches out a little more. So I'm going to try blocking it, but just like with the love note, I knew I wanted to show it today because I finished it yesterday. Yesterday was a really productive knitting day for me. So here it is. It is just the cutest little thing ever. So this is, again, it's a sock test knit from Darcy of Chitchat Knits. This will be called the Sliperoo socks. Sliperoo slipper socks, I think. So they're meant to be more of a slipper, not, it is a DK weight. And she has 3 variations, and I chose to do the super shorty socks. And this is why I don't want to unravel this, because the foot is so tight. It fits perfectly in the ankle, which is why I have never, the closest I've come to making a super shorty sock, it was last year. I did a test knit for the Rail Yard socks by Granite State Yarns, Lauren, and it was so big in the ankle that I just have ended up unraveling them. But I've always wanted to go back to them because I really liked that pattern and it was so super cute. But this one fits perfectly in the ankle, so I don't want to change that. The yarn I'm using was a really good excuse to use this yarn. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm sorry. I can just slow down a minute. So I got this. Y'all know how it is when you're like ordering online and you only need a couple of dollars more and you can get free shipping. That's what happened with this yarn. I bought 2 of these in different colors. We just needed like a couple of dollars to spend to get free shipping at, I think it was Walmart. Anyway, so I got this yarn in 2 different colors. And so I thought, and the reason I did that is because this is Bernat Baby Coordinates, but it is, and it's in the color Dove Girl, but it's an acrylic and rayon blend. And your tabby doesn't hate you, honey. I'm sorry. It's actually 71.2% acrylic, 25.6% rayon, and 3.2% nylon. So, and it has kind of a, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read online where it's this is like a roving kind of texture. And then of course you can see the, I don't know if it's the rayon or the nylon that is intertwined with it. So it's a little difficult to work with, but not too bad. I was just curious if they would make good socks with that kind of blend, because then you can make all kinds of like, for like babies or gifts and make it really affordable, because some people, you don't know if they are really knit worthy, but if the yarn's not that expensive and it works up quickly, like this Sliperoo socks, it'd be great. Because actually what I want to do is not really with this yarn, but this pattern would be a great Christmas gift for people that you happen to know, like their shoe size. So I'll have to find that out. Anyway, it's a DK weight, and I am using, I haven't started the second one yet. I don't remember what size I used. Pretty sure it's the one that was recommended by Darcy. It's all stuck in here. I can't see at all. I did it magic loop. Oh, here we go. It is a US size 3.25 millimeter needle. So those were really fun and worked up really fast. And I want to block that one and see how much it stretches before I start the second sock, so that I can know if I'm on the right track or not. I'm making her adult size small, which is, I believe, 40 stitches. Also, these will be my first DK socks. I did a test knit last year for Knitty McPurley, which I think they were called 90s retro 90s socks or something like that. And that was a really fun pattern I want to go back to, but I didn't. I used 100% acrylic and it was just too tight. It's not color work, but it looks like color work. And I've just never gone back to a DK sock before. So I'm hoping if these are successful and I can get my sizes and everything worked out, that I would like to go back to that pattern as well. And do that. Like, I'm really comfortable with the fingering weight regular socks now, because I'm like, I know what fits me. I know where to start decreases, and I figured out a heel that I really like with the heel flap and gusset and whatnot. So, but I'm in uncharted territory with DK weight socks. But I was amazed at how much they worked up, or how quickly they worked up. So anyway, speaking of Darcy from Chitchat Knits, I brought back out, I'm sorry, I'm going to end up spilling my coffee. I'm going to put it back over here. My shiny bright socks that I test knit for her last, I think October, November, something like that. So just as a reminder, here's the original. So this is what I did as the test knit. I haven't even taken all my stitch markers out or anything. And I had actually been really wanting to start a new sock, but I've had so much going on that I didn't. And then when we got her email to test for her, I was like, yes, I get to make socks again. And so then when I started making those socks again, I was like, when I was done with it, I thought, I really want to get my other one out. So technically there's not much on it. I just have the cuff, which I did have a cuff on it, but I ripped it out because I had forgotten to make it. And, well, first of all, two things. I'm pretty sure I forgot to do the German twisted cast on, so it wouldn't match the other one. It would fit differently. So that was going to drive me crazy. And then I did a regular 2x2 rib instead of the pattern calls for a twisted rib. And that part probably wouldn't have mattered as much, but definitely that German twisted cast on versus a regular long tail cast on would have driven me crazy, because they're going to fit differently. So I ripped out what I had. And here is my new cuff with the German twisted cast on and the 2x2 twisted rib. And I am excited to get that going. I've been doing about just a little 15-30 minutes. I've been trying to time all my projects lately. I think I did like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, or 15 to 30 minutes over the past couple of days doing that. I am using my US size 1 2.25 millimeter needle. I will be doing magic loop until I get to the color work section, in which I will increase to, let me find my needles here. I'm pretty sure I increased it to a 2.75 millimeter for the color work. Yes, so the color work will be on a 9-inch, 2.75 millimeter US size 2. Wait, is that a 2? Really? Is that what I just said? Yes, 2 millimeter. The yarn that I am using is yarn that I dyed. Well, all the whole base is Knit Picks Muse fingering weight bear yarn. I don't have a label with me in here though, but I dyed it. This was my first ever dyed yarn. It's just a multitude of colors. That's my main color. And then I'm just using some bear yarn as the, you know, right here. And then the stars, I have this tealish kind of color, which turned out really beautifully. I love that one. And then I have this. It was supposed to be kind of a, oops, I got a thing stuck in there. Just a minute, just a few more minutes, okay? Have this, it was supposed to be like a purpley lavender kind of color, but it turns out like a kind of purpley mauve kind of color. So this is what it will look like when it's done. So I was very excited to bring that back out. It was very refreshing. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? I actually still have quite a bit to talk about. My next project, oh, you know what, let's do this. This is my Spindrift shawl by Helen Stewart. I am so close to being done. I am 2 rounds away, or 2 rows away from being 90% done. Sorry, I've got this kind of mixed up here. I guess because it's on the needles, it's kind of scrunched up, but this is all stockinette, so not missing too much there. And then the top is this beautiful, I guess, eyelets or something. I don't know what you would call those, but I'm almost done, and this will be beautiful. It is supposed to be pretty chilly here on Easter, like in the 50s. Unless they've changed it. They may have changed it. So I want to get this done this week so that it can block and be all ready. The yarn I'm using was Monarch yarn on Etsy. And I believe the color was Tropical Fade. It doesn't have a label, but it is a 75-25 blend. And I'm kind of hoping I have a little left over for like some scrappy socks, because I really like that colorway. But there's not much to tell on that. I'm almost done with it, so you may see it one more time. Okay, so those are all my finished projects. Or I mean, well, finished and works in progress. But I do have a few things that I want to discuss project-wise. So this week I was gifted some yarn from my friend. I don't know if I should say we didn't discuss it, but from my friend Leslie. Thank you, Leslie. I absolutely love this. So this is Lion Brand Rewind tape yarn. And the color, I think I looked up because the label doesn't say what color it is, but I believe it was Capri Breeze or something like that. I don't see the color, or yeah, oh, there it is, Capri Breeze, yes. And this is a 70% polyester and 30% viscose yarn. It is a size 5 bulky. I am so eager to use this. So she and I were discussing a hat pattern by Make and Do Crew. It was the Clio Fedora wide brim hat. And I am stuck between, and then she gifted me this. It was so sweet of her. I'm so excited to use it. I've never used a tape yarn before. But it's like flat. It almost looks like fettuccine noodles to me. But anyway, and so I'm going back and forth between, I'm on such a hat kick, particularly a Sunhat kick. If I want to make, and I'll pop pictures of both of them in, let me know in the comments which you think I should make. But I'm going back and forth between making the Cleo Fedora wide brim hat by Make and Do Crew, or I have made before in all acrylic yarn. I held Red Heart double as I practiced, so it's not breathable, it's not really very wearable. I just kind of wanted to make the hat at the time. The June Sun hat by Ashley Kaiser of Sorella, and that was a very enjoyable pattern when I made it. I should have brought that out, but I didn't. Anyway, so I am so excited to use this yarn for one of those hats. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'll pop a picture up of both of them so you can see what they look like. I'm very excited. So that will be hopefully started by the next time I podcast. And then the other thing I want to make that will be immediately started is, you've previously seen where in Burger's memorial area I made the sun. Well, there's one little spot there that just needs something there. And so my husband and I decided that I could make a cross and put there. So I just got out some white acrylic yarn. This is actually handmade yarn by Target. Just in the color like white or something. It is a worsted weight. I think it's called white. Anyway, it's just white yarn. And so I'm hoping to start a crocheted cross to put there. And then, oh, you know what? Okay, after I talk about one last thing, I'm going to go back because I did work a little bit on a baby blanket, but it's not working out very well, so I was going to get some opinions. And then I also want to, now that I'm done with my Love Note sweater, I'm really enjoying making garments and would love to have a wardrobe, like, not necessarily a capsule one, but like where I just wear hand knit shirts all the time. So I want to make, and there won't be any hurry on this because it'll be for like fall and winter next year, but is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. That pattern was gifted to me for my birthday, and it is worsted weight. And when I was reading through the pattern pages, whatever yarn she uses, people were finding that they were getting gauge with Lion Brand Heartland. And I thought, oh, you know what? I made a crochet shirt with that I never wear because I paid no attention to gauge, and it's just too big and bulky and not comfortable. So, which was this one. I've been in the midst of unraveling it. So I'm unraveling this in the color Cuyahoga Valley, maybe? Yeah, Cuyahoga Valley. I've already got a large portion of it balled up. It would be easy to replace because I think they still make it if I needed to add yarn to it, but crochet uses a lot more yarn than knitting, so I think I should be okay. And I think this would be a beautiful weekender. It's very like greenish color. So I want to start that. That will be my first bottom up sweater. So that's exciting. That will be interesting, which is also why I wanted to go ahead and start it now, because it's probably going to take me a long time to figure that out. And y'all know how I drop stitches and stuff. So who knows about that. So I've already got the yarn going for that. Hopefully to get started. I don't remember what size needles it uses though, but I'll figure that out. So I wanted to bring out my, I think it's called like a comfy diagonal blanket or diagonal comfy blanket, comfy dye. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's a pattern by Lion Brand. And I was working on it this week, and I'm not sure if I like dropped a stitch or not, but all of a sudden there was this like really big hole in the middle of it. So let me back up to where it is, and so that you can see. I've already started trying to undo it. I don't know why, so I don't know if I've dropped a stitch somewhere or what the situation is. So I'm undoing it, but maybe if you have suggestions. See right here, there's like a hole, but I don't know why. So I'm almost tempted just to rip this whole thing out and start again. Or I probably just frog back the rows is what I was in the process of doing. And just getting to where I think that point is. But I don't remember dropping any stitches, so I don't know if I did or not. Anyway, so technically that is a work in progress that I worked on. That is using, well, I don't have the label, but it is Bernat Baby Sport, I think, in the color Tiny Tulips, which is a nice yarn to work with. And it is in this bag that my husband and Burger got me many years ago that I've recently rediscovered that I really, really like. And that is it, I believe. So I also, that's actually all the projects that I have in front of me that I have remembered to bring out. But I did want to run something by y'all. So I've been podcasting every 2 weeks, and that seems to be like a good schedule. I keep thinking I'm going to do it once a week, and I just don't get the time. Well, I probably have the time, but either there's not enough progress on projects, or anyway, 1 week just doesn't really work out. But I was thinking of podcasting every 2 weeks on a Sunday or Monday. And then, but every week every Wednesday, doing a video of only works in progress for WIP Wednesdays. I'm not showing any finished objects, not discussing finished objects, not telling you what I finished, anything like that, but just showing what I have worked on up until that point. I don't know if it, I'll see how that works. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the comment section. I would love to hear them. And that is it. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.